Well, hey guys, I'm here in South Africa. Yes, you can tell I'm really suffering for Jesus at this point. Such a blessing to be here close to Durban, and we're staying here close to the beach. You can see the beautiful view that is behind me. It is absolutely breathtaking, and really just taking in the sights. So loving being here and the blessing of not only the surroundings and the setting, but the people I've got to engage with. It's been so good. But I'm sitting here on this overlook looking at the ocean, and can't help but think of when Balaam and Balak are overlooking the Israelites in the lesson we're looking at today. Kind of leading up to that, the Israelites had been wandering in the wilderness for 40 years. That has come to an end. They're finally making their way to take the promised land. And as they're going in to take the promised land, there are some conflicts. You have Sihon coming to attack the Israelites, and God gives them victory over Sihon. And then King Og decides he wants to take them on as well, and he approaches them, and God says, "Do not worry, I will give you victory over him as well." And evidently King Og was a really big man. The dimensions of his bed make him maybe 9 to 10 feet tall, maybe a little bit bigger than that. A huge guy. It's called the last of the giants. And yet God gives Israel victory over him as well. And they settle in the land there of the Amorites, and that is where actually 2.5 tribes will dwell later on. And then at this point, as you're looking at the event, of course we know that Balak, king of Moab, he's worried along with Midian, and they decide to call in Balaam, a false prophet of sorts, to come in and to curse Israel. He was known to be a good curser, whatever that means. But come in to curse Israel so that they may have victory over them, protect themselves from Israel and the God of Israel. And so, of course, as you look at that whole account, there's numerous tribes where he tries to get Balaam to come, and Balaam doesn't come initially, and then he does come, and of course God's upset that he agrees to go, puts the angel in the way, and basically Balaam's donkey saves his life. Then you got the cool interaction between the donkey and Balaam talking to each other. God opens the mouth of the donkey to show how stubborn Balaam's heart really is in all this. And then Balaam is obedient to what God calls him to do in that event at least. And they go, and Balaam comes with Balak, and Balak shows Balaam all the people over Israel, probably with an overlook. Maybe something like this, not with the ocean of course, but just overlooking the massive people of Israel, the sea of people of Israel, if you will. If I can have a play on words with the background behind me. And he wants, of course, Balaam to curse Israel. But Balaam says, I can only say what God tells me to say. And ironically, Balaam ends up blessing Israel 3 different times. Of course, to Balak's huge disgruntledness. He does not like that at all. And finally tells Balaam to go away. But of course, God's going to bless his people in that event. And God protects Israel. You look at the event, God is protecting Israel no matter what as he brings them up into the promised land. He protects them from the giant King Og and the people from King Sihon, gives them victory over that. And those victories give Israel confidence going into the promised land as they face these big peoples in the promised land and the fortified cities, and as they engage in this warfare. It gives them a better perspective on God's power and his faithfulness. And it should remind us of the same thing. When Israel faced a giant king, God protected them. When they faced a false witch doctor of sorts, God protected them. And in a similar way in our lives, as God is working through us and calling us all to different things in our lives, we can trust him. He will protect us as he sees fit to his glory and use us in a mighty way for his name's sake. So no matter what we are facing in our lives, we can trust his plan for us. We can trust he will do what is best for his glory and our good. And we can see that lesson just put on vivid display here in the account of Balaam and Balak, and they're leading up to the plains of Moab to go into the promised land. So hope that's encouraging to you guys. Taking this view one last time, and I will talk to you later on.